What's going on, guys? This is your host, Lennon Luceda. I'm here with my dog, Juan Capeles, and we're here to bring you Miami Dolphins Mode channel, which Antoine said not to say, but either way,
fuck him.
fuck that nigga. Either way, we're gonna get right into it. We got a big game for week 2 against the New England Patriots. I hate those guys. But it's still gonna be a tough ass match. So first thing, we want to get right to it. So the biggest issue we had last week obviously is the defense. So Juan, tell us a little bit more what adjustments you want to see within the defensive ends. How can we get to Tom Brady, because we can't let him have all the time in the world. If we did that to Lamar Jackson and he roasted us, what the fuck's gonna happen if Tom Brady does that? So what do you expect to see from our defensive lines?
Well, the first thing I want to see from our defensive line is pressure. You know, last game we had no pressure at all. You know, we just gave Lamar Jackson too much time back there. And, you know, what I want to see from the defensive line and the defense in general, I just wanted to see him, you know, be able to adapt, you know, react to what the team is doing and not wait so long to regroup and change the defense. You have to adapt a little faster, right? And Charles Harris, I like Charles Harris. He's a hard worker. You could tell that everybody says good things about him, but he has to show up. He has to come. He has to do. He has to get a sack. He has to get pressure. He's not doing it right now. I mean, it's the first game. I know last game was the first game, but hey, man, this is your third year. This is your time to shine. So you got to come up. There's no, he's a all pro tackle or this situation. No. You got to come with the pressure. You know what I mean? We know that our defensive ends, they're not the greatest on paper, but you would want to see more pressure from them. We definitely need it, because if you give Tom Brady that much time back there, he's just going to tear you up. That's what he does.
Are we going to need more help from the linebackers as well to help the defensive ends, since they're so weak? Since we also have even Charles Harris playing a little bit linebacker, what can they do to help out, our defensive lines?
I mean, definitely our D line needs help at this point. The best way they could help is probably, one is coverage, right? If they cover longer, then it gives the D line a little more time to get to the quarterback. And the second, I would say, was to be creative with blitzes. Showing blitz and not blitzing, not showing blitz and blitzing, showing blitz and blitzing, and then confusing them with which linebacker's going to come. This disguise that we're supposed to have with this new defense that Brian Flores is bringing over. So these are some things that the linebackers would have to do, and also on the run, get them in the backfield. Don't get blocked. Get off your block, and tackle.
And tackle them right there. So if we could do that, we'll at least have a little bit more success as far as containing them, keeping Brady a little bit more on his toes and not getting too comfortable.
Yeah.
And then that also now gets us to our next part is we got to stop the receivers. And now that they have Antonio Brown, at least we'll have a good idea that probably Xavier Howard's going to take care of him. Yeah. But we still got to think about Josh Gordon. Then we still got to think about Julian Edelman. We still got White on the side.
Yes.
So what do you expect from our secondaries to do with those players to contain them and at least not get them too comfortable?
I mean, you're asking a tall order right now.
For sure.
It's definitely a tall order. Do we have the talent? I feel so. Or we're right there. But the defensive game plan has to be accurate. It has to be something good. I mean, the game plan has to be above, let's say above average, right? Because I think Fitzpatrick could play the slot with anybody. Xavier Howard, I have confidence with him, guarding anybody. But the way the Patriots offense is that they set you up in so many different ways that if you stop them in a certain way, then they look for another way. So, I mean, the best thing I would say is to be on them very hard, which is a tall task. I mean, Edelman, he's just a great route runner. He knows he knows how to fake you out. He knows, just how to play with your mind, and his routes are great. You know, I mean, in the Super Bowl, he's right there behind Jerry Rice to be like the top postseason receiver. I mean, that's a great feat, man. You know, so I mean, it's just tough to know. And then you got the added pressure with Antonio Brown, but you can't concentrate on him. It's his first game. Of course, he's Antonio Brown, but if you concentrate on him, they're going to go to Josh Gordon or they're going to go to Edelman. And I mean, there's just so many options. I mean, it's not only about the DBs here. It would have to be about the D-line.
Yep. It starts there.
Yeah, the D-line would have to help out the DBs. But do I think that we have enough talent to cover the receivers? Yeah, I do. Especially with Xavier Howard and Fitzpatrick.
With our D-line, who do you see at least stepping up to the plate a little bit more to at least, start things up a little bit?
On the D end, I really can't tell you anyone. But on the inside, the D tackles, I can tell you that Wilkins, he's looking he's looking good. He's not looking great, like he's not exploding, but he's doing a couple things. If you really look at him and you focus your attention on him, D tackle isn't really a sexy position unless you're Aaron Donald, right?
Yeah.
So, but if you really look at him, you can tell that, he's taking on blocks. He's getting in the backfield a couple times, not too much, but a couple times. So I think that if he has a good game and he's able to explode a little bit, that would be beneficial to everyone. And Godchuk, he's good against the run. He's not great against the pass, but he's good with holding up the O lineman and protecting his gap. Right, like blocking up his gap. So I think right now, because we're so short at the end, that the D tackles would have to step up. And then I'm just going to put this extra one out there. The linebackers, we need help from the linebackers blitzing. Maybe even like the cornerback or the safety, or some blend of something like that.
And because that's why you mentioned, to have more creativity.
Yes.
So then we could catch him off guard and now smart him at least a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So now that we know, we got at least a little picture of what we need to do with the defense. How to stop their weapons. Now we also got to score points as well too, because last week we were having a hard time with those aspects.
Horrible.
And what we thought, a lot of Dolphin fans, was at least that we have depth with the receivers, and they didn't really show up. So this week,
they didn't have any time to run routes.
Well, that too as well, and we're not gonna have Albert Wilson this week. So some people have to step up big time. We're expecting Parker to step up. Grant needs to step up. Preston Williams. Am I missing
Gesicki
needs to step it up. O'Leary did all right there.
O'Leary a little bit. I think the running backs between Kenyon Drake, maybe Kellen Balaj, getting some passes out the backfield. I mean, it has to be a group effort. I mean, there's no real one position or one player, that is going to blow up. Now, I would like to see a little more from Jakeem Grant, because he does have the speed, he does have the elusiveness, but, they don't use him a lot in the games yet, and I know that a lot of people want him to be used more.
Yeah.
But, like, he just, when he's in the game and he does get those snaps, he doesn't overwhelm.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So maybe the coaches are seeing that, and that's why they're not giving him more plays. So it's really on, it's halfway on the coaches, and it's another halfway on Jakeem Grant. Especially after the punt that he had last week.
Yeah.
So he just has to take it that extra level. Obviously, the Dolphins organization believe in him. He just has to take it to that next level. He has to do a little more because he has the speed. He's fast. He's as fast as anybody in the NFL. It's hard to guard. And then if he's he's shorter, so it's a little harder to press him because it's such a small area to press. And with his quickness, if you miss on the press, that's see you later.
Yeah,
he's gone.
He's gone like last year.
He's gone. So if you miss, watch out. So a lot of people won't even try because they don't want to get burned and get embarrassed like that. So I want to see a little bit more from him. Parker, he did good last game. I still want to see a little more from him. I believe Parker is he could be a dominant player. You know what I mean? Like a Brandon Marshall, right? Or a Julio Jones. I'm not saying he's Julio Jones, but I'm saying that he has the ability to be a powerful force in the game. That they can just pass it to him over and over and over. I also want to see Preston Williams. Preston Williams, a nice little rookie coming out. Yeah, man. I mean, last game he should have had 2 touchdowns. I bet you he's going to hold on to the ball when he has it in the end zone. I mean,
time for sure.
It's a rookie mistake. But the main thing is that he was open. He was getting looks and he was getting passes and he was, and, I'm going to mention a little bit about the preseason. He burned Jalen Ramsey. Yeah. If Fitzpatrick would have passed it right, he would have burned him. So, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just giving him a good token right there. But, that's nice to see. I would like to see some out of him. And Kaseki, last game he didn't have too many receptions or anything like that. But he looked better. He looked better. I mean, you got to agree.
Improvements. Yeah. Looking better.
He looked better than last year. So, we got. It's only the first game, but let's see what happens. But, I want to see more from Kaseki as well.
And then bringing us to that, also you mentioned Kenyon Drake getting some passes as well too, but we also need to get the running game going.
Yes, definitely.
Kenyon Drake, we got to get him more touches. Balaj needs to step it up a little bit more.
Yes.
And as well too, I think a lot of people were surprised the lack of usage of Chandler Cox.
Yes.
What the hell's going on there? And hopefully we can see him a lot more because that was supposedly a big fixture in this offense that Flores was bringing.
Yeah, well, with the thing is, I understand that. I understand the concern. And, I wanted to see Chandler Cox get more plays. He only got about, 2?
Like 2.
Literally
2 plays. That's it.
Yeah, and one of them was the first play of the game. Because he started. He was the first play. So, I mean, you could say some of that was because we got blown out so damn fast, in the first quarter. But I'm saying Chandler Cox. I mean, he could definitely at least stay in the box and block.
At least we need help in the box
because we needed help in the blocking. And then he could have definitely stayed there. And last game, we weren't gonna run. We were down 21-0 in the first quarter. We're not gonna run.
Yeah, there's no way.
We're not gonna run. It's and then also when we're down so much, they know that we don't have a good O line. They know that they're gonna blitz us. They're gonna play against the run the whole game. So you have to take shots downfield because there's nowhere to run. You know what I mean? And so they could give you. They're in the position where they could give you a touchdown and it still won't matter.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But then, and then on top of that, you had an offensive line with 2 offensive lineman starters that were there with the preseason start.
Mm-hmm.
So, chemistry is very big with the O-line. Very big. So in the beginning, it's very difficult, when they haven't been around each other for a long time. Hopefully this next upcoming season, next game, it'll be a little better. But, bro, when you're getting blown out 21-0 in the first quarter, you're not going to run.
There's no way you can start establishing that run, which screws up the whole play actions and those moves. So it just puts almost a playbook.
It's like
in the burner.
What Baltimore did is basically said, whatever you were going to try to do, forget about it.
Yeah.
Your game plan, you're not even going to be able to run it.
There's no way.
And that's what happened. And then, we're going against Patriots. They have a good defense too.
Yeah. A really good defense. So hopefully, maybe since Flores is familiar with them, he hopefully could at least, hope you hope for that. But with this talent that we have, you really can't do that.
No, it's not only that. It's just Belichick. Belichick is just so smart. I bet you he had a plan before the season even started.
Yeah.
He knows Brian Flores, and this guy's just a genius. I mean, he's smart, you know what I mean? And I bet he has a whole bunch of things planned.
Oh, yeah. I know. Eguivan even mentioned that although he's studying film, Patriots also study film a lot. They probably study it so much that they know what shoes he's gonna wear for week 2. That's how much they know about him.
Yeah.
And then to bring this all together, of course, it all begins with the quarterback situation, getting the receivers and the running backs.
Yeah.
What do you expect to see from Fitzpatrick? What did you like last week that he could build on this week? Against a stingy Patriots defense.
Well, first off, before anything, I do want to say that last week against the Ravens, I mean, mad props to Ryan Fitzpatrick, just for he's just running around, trying to make a play, trying to make something happen, knowing that he was going to get hit. I mean, he knew there's no way that he didn't know, and he just hung in there, and he tried to make plays, and his chin strap was in his nose so many times after he got hit. And even in the play where he threw the ball and the referees didn't blow the whistle, he got hit, he got laid out. And right when he threw the pass, and then since they didn't blow the whistle, he thought it was an interception or a fumble, and he went running after it, and then Carr hit him and knocked him down again. I mean, I understand, it wasn't a fumble or an interception, but it just lets you know how much heart this guy has.
For
you
sure.
know, and to me, just as a fan and as a fan of football, I like that. So first off, I want to give him props for that, especially with everything that he's been going through. Fitzpatrick, the second game I hope is going to be better. I think it's going to be better than the first game, because it's just when you don't have that much time, man, it's very difficult, And
sure.
But I do like how he threw it to Parker. Especially that long pass that he threw to Parker, because he basically threw it where Parker could go get it. Ryan Tannehill, Jay Cutler, Matt Moore, they couldn't do that, and it will frustrate me so much. But it looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to do that, and I think because of Ryan Fitzpatrick, Devontae Parker is going to be better. I just what I expect for Fitzpatrick is just more improvement. I mean, it's a tough task, man. I mean, the Patriots defense is they're smart, man. They're Super Bowl champions.
They're champions. They're one of the top defenses, and you got Belichick. So it's definitely not an easy feature. Although Tom Brady has been 1-5 against us in Miami, so we're hoping for that small advantage. It's still gonna be a big hill to try to overcome.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're going against the Super Bowl champs, the Patriots. And, it's always difficult. But, Miami always has a chance. I know what you're thinking. Maybe we don't have a chance because this team isn't as good as the other teams, even though the other teams weren't that good either, And, but, it's still Miami. It's still our home field.
So what do you think will be the score at the end of the game? What are you thinking?
Oh, man, you're putting me on the spot, man.
What's the hot take on that?
Don't do this. I don't want an answer.
So you know what? We'll leave it at this. I want you guys to comment down below. What do you think the score is gonna be? Is it gonna be are we gonna do the miracle play again? Are we gonna get away with it? Are we gonna get blown out? Is it gonna be tight? What do you guys think is gonna be the score? But either way, we're gonna wrap it up with that note. Leave the comments down below. Otherwise, follow us on Instagram at Miami Dolphin Mode, on Twitter as well, Dolphins Mode. And for all things Miami Dolphins, we'll bring you the latest news, and then we're gonna give you the recap after week 2 on Monday. So, any last words, Juan?
Go Dolphins.
All right, you heard it here first. Go Dolphins and F the Patriots. Peace.
Yep.